Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gershwin, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about the Logicians, as we talk about their hired Dark Mechanicum Assassins. If you guys have any other suggestions or requests for topic ideas, please comment down below. And again, guys, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day. With that said, let's get into 40 facts about the Logicians. Arguably the real power base of the Logicians is the diverse number of heretechs, scholars, and even renegade tech priests within its ranks. This relatively small but potent group carries out much of the cult's real activities, and each serves in its own way to contribute to the Logicians' power and knowledge. They are a diverse group, often operating in cells either as individuals or small cabals on a single project, usually being quite ignorant of each other and their activities, and answering only to the tetrarchs that have sponsored them. They vary a great deal in power, knowledge, and specialization, ranging from promising heretechs recruited from within organized crime groups or merchant guilds who might specialize in technology salvage, drug manufacture, or weapon crafting. Or they might be scholars of forbidden lore on the run from the authorities. Outcast members of the cult Mechanicus are a particular prize for the cult, as a few are able to match their skills in learning. Having already broken some ban or edict of Mars, they are often drawn to the Logicians for protection while fleeing destruction by their own kind. In many cases, the loyalty of these individuals to the Logicians is questionable to say the least, a fact that the Logicians view as an acceptable risk. Though there are some true converts to the cause and fanatic adherents to the logical disclosure among them, many serve only through an allegiance of convenience, bartering service and experimental data for protection and concealment, and the opportunity to pursue their obsession uncontested. Where possible, the Logician cult prides itself on directly employing only the best as its agents. And beneath the tetrarchs, the cult cells are made up of skilled organizers and administrators, as well as specialists such as pilots, scribes, financiers, and information brokers. Most of these operate under a variety of covert identities to ensure their tetrarch's bidding is carried out. The ranks of the Logician cells are rounded out by a hard core of professionally trained killers and soldiers, all of the highest caliber and thoroughly tested for ruthlessness and loyalty to the cause. These military agents are one of the most marked features of the heretical tech cults, as their skills and efficiency sets them above many of the foes that the imperial forces must face when dealing with petty insurrections, criminal gangs, or fanatic cult zealots. Highly motivated, tactically skilled, and well-equipped, Logician cult agents have repeatedly proven to be the bane of unsuspecting enforcer groups and ill-prepared inquisitorial acolytes when the cult has been encountered. In the last several decades, the Logician cult in the Calic sector has been repeatedly linked to shadowy organizations of assassins, operating primarily within the Josian Reach. Recent intelligence gathered by the efforts of Inquisitor Srox Ram has indicated that this assassin cadre, known as the Ashen Tier, is actually little more than a cult within a cult of the Logicians themselves. The Ashen Tier project was created to give the cult a purpose-built resource of living weapons with which it could strike directly at its enemies, removing with surgical precision any individual obstacle in the cult's path, or deal with anyone that would betray it. In structure, the Ashen Tier appears much like an imperial death cult, somewhat in imitation of the great Officio Assassinorum itself. Its killers are selected from a young age and put through grueling physical and psychological conditioning, harsh enough that few are likely to survive to attain their majority. As fitting the Logicians' doctrines, those that graduate to active service are further augmented with numerous discrete implant cybernetics and alchemical systems to boost their abilities, making them extraordinarily dangerous combatants and highly adept stealth killers. While few in number, the Ashen Tier Assassins represents a new and powerful weapon in the Logicians' arsenal, although some, like the infamous Moradit Reaper, Esme Blackheart of Inquisitor Ram's retinue, have taken great delight in besting such faithless pretenders when encountered. The Logicians are something of an elite force as heretical cults go, made up of professional agents and adherents chosen for their high degree of ability, ruthlessness, and loyalty above all other factors. The Logicians' doctrines place their faith in the superiority of technology and skill and favor specialization in their servants. The cult seeks to increase its forces with a variety of disposable lackeys, who may be entirely unaware of who they truly work for and make extensive use of servitors where appropriate to its needs and resources. Beyond this, depending on the nature of the Logicians' activities when encountered, and the mechanization of their renegade technologists, far more deadly agents and techno-arcane servants may be in evidence. For their most secret intrigues and most dangerous covert infiltrations, the Logicians employ covert agents who have been specifically psycho-conditioned, chemically enhanced, and mind-wiped for everything but their loyalty, their mission, and what their master wishes them to know. The Logicians maintain a few of these specialists for their more delicate infiltration procedures. They refer to these as crucible agents, referencing the burning away of their old personalities and identities to create the mentally empty state needed so that they can be filled with a cult's purpose. Of all the Logician forces, it is these agents that fill some inquisitorial factions with the direst suspicions, as aside from the Holy Ordos themselves and the higher powers of the more militant Adepta, few within the Imperium have the skills or resources to create such empty-minded living tools. The use of Ashen Tier tech assassins is a relatively new but powerful development in the Logicians' arsenal. Each augmentedly hardwired killer is more than a match for most of what they might encounter, and delivers death with a cold precision. The Logicians count amongst their ranks a small number of renegade tech priests. These rare individuals are often skilled and experienced members of the Mechanicus, who have, for one reason or another, rebelled against their masters. The life expectancy of such unlicensed and outlaw adepts is short, and many are forced to flee into the underworld in the hopes of evading the wrath of their brothers. For the most radical, the Logicians' offer of protection and resource in return for their service is a small price to pay for survival. A few human lives, lost here and there, is entirely irrelevant. The Logician cult and its attendant heresies of technology and doctrines are a clear and present danger to the stability of the Calyx sector, the faith of the masses, and the sacred auspice of the priesthood of Mars. To be found guilty of being part of the cult, in its service, or even to have unlicensed possession of a copy of the Logical Discourse, is enough to warrant a death sentence under imperial law. Within the Inquisition, the direct persecution of the logical cults is the chief responsibility of the Ordo Hereticus, and it is the task they shoulder gladly, as its anti-imperial, secularist, and subversive agendas provoke the most profound loathing and antipathy in the witch hunters' ranks. Owing to the cult's tendencies to delve into forbidden lores of alien science, unrestricted progress, and the ancient past, both the Ordo Xenos and the authorities of the Adeptus Mechanicus are also bitterly opposed to the cult's activities. Finally, since the days of the proclamation of scant mercy, both the Adeptus Arbitus and the Sector Enforcer Cadres have the stated duty to take extreme measures against the cult wherever it is encountered. Given the power and breadth of the force ranged against the cult, it is perhaps surprising that the cult is not only still present within the sector, but seems to be increasing steadily in power and reach. It is a testament to both the highly resourced and focused nature of the Logicians' conspiracies and their sheer ruthlessness in maintaining their covert activities that they continue to operate despite such opposition. However, some fear, privately, that the cult may have some secret backing from some renegade faction within the Adepta or the Inquisition itself. All inquisitorial forces in the field are briefed to expect a highly proficient and skilled enemy in the Logicians, one that will flee if not cornered, often inflicting huge death tolls while doing so in order to cover its operatives' escape. Accordingly, the Ordo Hereticus Standing Order, issued at the petitioning of Inquisitor Ram, is to match the Logicians' intrigues with intrigues of the Inquisition's own. Already in the worlds of the Calyx sector, the threads of a vast web of covert actions, espionage, and lies is being woven to ensnare the wider cult. However, when this web draws tight, the Ordo Hereticus will stay in its hands no longer, and the Logicians will burn. And those were 40 facts about the Logicians. I hope you guys enjoyed that lore of the basically Dark Mechanicus assassins hired by the Logicians. If you guys have any other suggestions for other Warhammer 40k topics, please comment down below. Don't forget to put suggestion followed by that comment. And yeah, thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, and sharing. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.